Right now, we are joined with Tom Riley, Parks Development Administrator for the City of Santa Clarita. Tom, recently the city held a meeting and invited a lot of other agencies and the public, the Crest to Coast meeting. Can you tell us what that was?
Sure thing. The Crest to Coast Trail is a concept the city has been interested for a long time to find a way to link some of the major trails that run north and south from all the way from Canada down to Mexico, the Pacific Crest Trail system, and link that into our valley and then onto the Pacific Ocean through Ventura County. So this meeting was the first public workshop to introduce that concept to the public, introduce some of the project partners that were involved in developing the concept, and then to just start to take the feedback of what they would like to see along this trail and access to the trail.
So basically, there's a trail that runs from Canada all the way down to Mexico, and this is an east-west link up to that.
That's right. Those big trails that run north and south, they tend to have thousands of people that traverse them, either a segment of them or, some take on the whole 2,600 miles or whatever it is. And so the idea here is twofold, really, to have a regional trail where people in our valley want to go out and stretch their legs and maybe use part of the Crest to Coast, but then come off of that through the National Forest. And we have people that are very avid that will do 20 miles in a day. We have runners that will do 20, 25 miles of training. And then we have through hikers that may come off from the Pacific Crest Trail and want to recharge their batteries here in Santa Clarita. So there's some component of a tourism aspect to it where this has been successful.
So I imagine there's many challenges, development being one of them, or just, and civilization is interspersed amongst nature. So what are the things that are being talked about in this meeting?
Yeah, some of the challenges and the opportunities, we kind of frame them that way. As you said, we have multiple agencies. We have the National Park Service, we have the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy, the U.S. Forest Service, and private landowners. So we put together a team of major stakeholders, the people that own the land, and worked with them for over a year just developing the concept so that there wouldn't be any huge surprises to those owners. From there, we go on to more the neighborhood issues of how do you have an access that doesn't adversely impact a neighborhood. We may want to have multiple loops coming off of this trail so that someone that doesn't want to do 20 miles but just wants to go for 5 miles could do that as well. Another big source of potential conflict that we're trying to get in front of, and that is the conflict between users. This would be a dirt trail, much like what we're standing on here. Mm-hmm. And it would be multi-use, which means in this day and age it's equestrian, hiking, running clubs are very into it, as well as mountain bikers. So that potential of having so many different types and speed of use historically has started to cause some problems. So we're trying to walking the trails with each of these groups, and it's been kind of amazing where you'll have an equestrian advocate with a mountain biking advocate that have a little animosity from maybe some areas where there's been conflict. But when you're out walking the trail in nature, they wind up having things in common, whether it's bird watching or animal tracking. And so we've kind of noticed just by putting the group together and then walking behind them, some real good has come of this as far as mending those fences.
What are the next steps? Where do we go from here?
Right. We have put together a work plan that would take over the next 5 to 6 months, have a second public workshop. Right now we're looking at mid-September for that. We're starting up a web page where people will be able to access and provide their comments if they missed the first meeting and as a run-up to the second meeting. And with that plan, what we'll do is we'll have a more defined corridor and actual trail alignment. And the assistance that we have from the National Park Service is to kind of tie a bow on that concept plan that's been field checked. We've been out in the field over many days checking areas of concern and confirming a lot of the ground's conditions. So with that kind of a plan, and it'll probably be some sort of a little booklet, we hope to be able to go out and secure grants to build portions of that. And I should mention, since so much of this is in Los Angeles County is one of our major partners, and I know Supervisor Antonovich is very committed to expanding trails. So the timing comes along well where the city and the county are really working together on this closely.
Absolutely. Tom, I want to thank you for joining us. Look for a lot more to come on the Crest to Coast planning process. For This Week in Santa Clarita, I'm Evan Thomason.